my usual big God.
Sometimes your mood is there, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's the other way around.
Do not replace the voice of God with the voice of men, because it will not end well. Hello and welcome to The Promise and the Glory. And today we're going to be talking about the promise of unfailing presence. Yes, and you know who I'm talking about. My usual big God.
His presence is so vast.
His presence is all around. Like, the presence of God is great. It is magnanimous. Like, he promises us that presence. He's so confident and so sure of that presence, especially when you feel lonely.
It is so easy to feel lonely. It is so easy to feel like the world is against you, to feel like you're alone. Emotionally, spiritually, relationally, it's very easy to feel out of place.
And you know, sometimes your mood is here, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's the other way around. And you just need to bask in his presence. I saw something that someone said that once you master the act of loving to be with yourself,
you've mastered life.
And I caught it. I caught it because it was just so poignant. It was just the word that I needed to hear at a point in my life.
Because sometimes some people can't stay without relationships. Some people can't stay without friendships. My sister, she has sisters, but growing up, she's always wants friends because she used to tell herself that there's a space that sisters will feel and there's a space that friends will feel. And there's certain things you will not want to tell your sisters, but because your sisters will be looking after you. Because years after, and I asked her, and I was like, "Oh, why do you always like friends? And you have sisters. Why can't you just make your sisters your friends?" And she was like, "Yes, my sisters can be my friends, but because there are certain things I want to do, and when I tell my friends, they will be like, oh yes, they'll push you, do, yes, do it." And there are certain things that when I tell my sisters, they look at it from the point of protection, and sometimes they're protecting me, they won't let me take risks. And I think when she said that to me, I was like, this is another angle truly, because me, I've always been someone that anybody can be my friend, my sisters can be my friend can be my friend, but she was just this person that always felt this void of friendship. Like, she used to have friendship heartbreak, and I'm like, what's going on? Because I cannot relate, because anybody can be my friend. It doesn't have to be an outsider. It can be my family, it can be my cousin, but because there's this void that we always create. Some people create the void in relationships that, if I'm with somebody and it is toxic, I have to find another person before I move to the next person. And all these things are just voids in our mind that we create and think that we always need a certain presence in our life. But the only presence you need is God. Because every other presence can fail you. You've seen people that have done, they used to call it in my state, they used to call it feeling me I die love. You've seen people that will do that kind of crazy love, covenant love, this, and you'll be so shocked that at the end of the day, like, they left themselves. I know that we don't know about celebrity lifestyles and all, but growing up I used to listen to this secular song by Two-Face, African Queen, and I used to think, these people are soulmates, these people are made for each other. But in my millennial years, I got to see that they divorced, and I had a messy divorce. So there's no presence that can feel the presence of God. You see people with crazy love stories, and they didn't maintain that love story till the end. So that goes to show you that there's no presence that is permanent. There's no presence that cannot be taken away. The only presence that you need is the presence of God, and that presence supersedes every other presence in your life. Our focus is going to be companionship with God in human absence and even in human presence. God's constant presence in our lives. And our key scripture today is going to be Hebrews 13 verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
You can see that the Bible is telling you, let your covetousness. Sometimes we covet human relationship, we covet human presence, we covet it, and we think that this person is bound by us. Like this person cannot leave us, this person should not leave us, this person should be by me. Let the Bible has said it, let your conversations be without covetousness. So whatever dealings that you have with people, take covetousness out of it, because that is a recipe for disaster. Once you covet anything, you are bound to that thing, and anytime that thing is taken away from you, it will break you. So do not covet anything. Covet life, do not covet relationship, do not covet friendship, do not covet wealth, whatever it is, do not covet, and replace the presence of God with the presence of that thing. God's silence is not God's absence. So sometimes you feel like, oh, maybe I'm in my room and I'm lonely and God is not hearing me. No, his silence is not absence. He's not a loud God. He's not an overbearing God. He leaves you. It's like the case of the prodigal son. The father left the son to go. That's the simple illustration of God. And if you know, parables by Jesus Christ and parables in the Bible are usually illustrations just to give us a layman understanding of life. So this interprets God. He lets you go. He doesn't hold you. That is, some people you see that they backslided, they go back and they start doing things that they're not meant to do, and you're like, why didn't God stop them? No, he lets you. He gives you the free will to do whatever you want to do, because he knows his lost sheep will find their way back to him. He doesn't want you to feel like, oh, it's a cage that you cannot leave. He wants you to have that free will, because that free will is very important. Many believers make mistake that quiet season, God's quiet season, those points where I've not had a child before, but I hear mothers say that, oh, when they keep warning that child, oh, do not go there, do not go there. After a while, they leave the child to go, as long as it's not going to be detrimental to the child's health. They leave the child to go with the purpose that once that child does that thing that they've always wanted to do, and they see the repercussions, like they'll be like, oh, some children like to play with fire, they like to put their hands. So sometimes we just let them have a taste of it, and they'll leave them, and they see that after the child feels the impact of that fire or whatever it is, they see that the child will never go back to it, except it's a stubborn child, right? So that's the illustration of us humans. God will let us. Most times when we keep insisting that no, must go there. No, I must be with this person. No, I must be with this guy. No, I must be with this girl. No, and you're seeing all the red flags. You're seeing all the banners. You're seeing everything that looks like this is not it for me. God does not say, oh no, because you're my child, I'm going to stop it. No, at a point he leaves you. So that is his quiet season. That's what people interpret as his quiet season. The season where he's quiet, he's watching things unfold. The scripture teaches us that God often speaks his deepest when he has purpose to do, like he has incubated you. God removes certain voices, so his voice becomes unmistakable, so that you can hear his voice. So sometimes, as deeply as this hurts, he takes away some people's presence, so that because you've coveted them, like you felt like you can't do life alone without them, or there are certain things that you felt like you can't do life alone. Have you noticed in life that there's nothing you can't do without? People say, oh, at the end of the month, I must always buy this. There's nothing you can't do without. I quit alcohol in January, and it used to be my go-to. It used to be something I drink to sleep. It wasn't a vice. It was just my escape. Like if I had it throughout a long week, my ideal rest would be a bottle of red wine. I didn't used to drink anything else apart from red wine. So my ideal rest would be a bottle of red wine and sleep on my bed, like just finish the bottle, watch movies and sleep. And I realized I should have very deep sleep after. So that was my go-to. It wasn't a bite, it wasn't something that I would say, oh, I must do. No, it was just a part of a relaxation technique for me. But at a point, I was hearing things about alcohol, and I was saying that it's detrimental to my health. And there's so many debates about drinking alcohol, not drinking alcohol, drinking, and so I just took the bold step and was like, there are several debates on it, and even in reality, there are several, oh, do not drink, there are several do drink, and even for my health, it's not still good. And I'm like, why do I have to stick to this? And I just took the step and I was like, no more. And that was it. And I've been sober from that time till now. So there are certain things that he will need to take away so that you can hear him. Because if he doesn't take it away, you will not hear him. And most times Loneliness is not a lack of love. Sometimes it's space for healing. God fills spaces people cannot. Like, there are some voids that humans cannot fill. There are some voids that only God can fill. And do not replace the voice of God with the voice of men, because it will not end well. So always remember that no one should fill the place of God in your life. People can occupy your calendar while God only can satisfy your soul. People would occupy your calendar, have events, things that will keep you from thinking, like you can go out back to back every day, but only God can fill your soul, because your soul is His, and you have to let Him into that space for Him to satisfy that soul that you have. Loneliness ends not merely by having company, like gaining people. There's this quote that people say that, oh, I can be in a room full of people and I am lonely. Yes, you can be, and it's so true. You can be in a room full of people and you're very lonely. But by discovering communion with God, you are never alone. If you notice that whenever you intensify your work with God, you see that things get better. You always feel like you can talk to Him. Even if you're on transit, even if you're in a very noisy place, you just feel like you can speak. You feel like you can hear Him from the depths of your soul. That's what happens when you have a very good communion with God. And by discovering your communion with God, you are seen, you are known, you are cherished, and God's presence will fill every gap in between the lines, all the gray areas, and every part that you feel like something, and every void you feel like something must fill. And He has promised that He will never leave us. And solitude sometimes, do not take loneliness for a bad season. Solitude can also be a development season for you. It can also be sacred. In the point of your solitude, most times you find God. In the quiet, in stillness, He moves in stillness. Our God is not a very loud God. He moves in peace. His peace passes through all understanding. He moves in stillness. Sometimes when you see that some ladies will say, oh, when I am single, I develop myself. Yes, sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need that sober season. Sometimes you need that quiet season. So it's not a punishment, it's a redirection. Because a lot of ladies say, oh, they got themselves and they gained themselves and they got to know themselves more when they were single. And whenever they meet somebody, they are the better version of themselves. Even in life, when you are solitude, when you're alone, most times it is for your betterment and it is for your own good. So do not underrate the process of being lonely, because you're just lonely physically. You are not lonely in your mind, because God is with you. God will isolate you sometimes to insulate you. He often removes noise to deepen intimacy. The crowd can't cure a soul that only intimacy with God can reach. There's certain intimacy with God that crowds cannot cure. Even when you feel forgotten, know that you are deeply loved, you are cherished, and you are known. Declare this prayer with me. God, be near to me. Fill every empty place with your presence and remind me that I am deeply loved, known, and cherished. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another episode.